I know the term sleeping giant is used a lot, but Wolves, the potential is there, isn't it? I mean, it is a great buy on paper.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to buy a Championship club, there's a handful of teams who are available, of which Wolves are probably top of the billing order alongside someone like Leeds United.
Yeah.
The only difference between someone like Leeds is the fact that we've been in the Premier League before. A lot of the people in the club are familiar with how to run a Premier League club, and if we can kind of keep that moving, the groundwork is already there, especially with the academy alongside it.
Thoughts on this man behind us, Kenny Jackett? Obviously, he's in limbo at the moment as well. He's getting down to the day-to-day trading as he would do normally, but it must be a difficult time for him as well.
Definitely, you know, it's never good for anyone if there's sort of uncertainty in your profession. And he seems to have handled things with a lot of dignity the last week or so, when there's been a lot of uncertainty around his future.
You a Kenny Jackett fan?
I do like him. I think he has his flaws as a manager. I think they're kind of quite clear for a lot of people to see. I think that the club does need a bit more investment in that team. The main question mark is whether he/Kevin Farewell are the right people to bring in the right players at the club.
And if Robin Lee does take over, I guess there's no guarantees that there could be a new manager in place straight away. I mean, it could be a Robin Lee, Kenny Jackett situation. We just don't know.
I mean, that's what happened when Morgan took over. So actually, he took over, I believe, a year after McCarthy joined the club, and he stuck with him. He might actually look at what Jackett's done over the past 3 years and sort of decide, actually, we want to keep someone who's familiar with the club, has built this team up basically from scratch.
Jez Moxey, obviously someone who polarises certain fans. What do you think is his situation? Do you think he should stay, or do you think he should go, or what do you think? What can you see if the takeover happens? Would you like him to oversee it all? I
think if the takeover happens, I think he will probably end up stepping down. He enjoys being the pantomime villain of the club. It's a role he plays very well. Whether he is good at his job is probably not something I'm intelligent enough to say. We seem like we're a well enough run club, and I think he's got to take great credit in that. However, as we said, was the investment there last season when it was truly needed in the right sorts of players to make up for, let's say, the loss of Sacco, whereas we probably didn't use the money from his contract after he left well enough. Yeah.
Fans have kind of been in the doldrums for the past 30 years, really. I mean, you can understand the excitement. They dare to dream. I mean, what do you think could become of Wolves in, let's say, 4 or 5 years' time?
Well, I mean, we saw what happened when Morgan took over, who was a step above Sir Jack Hayward in terms of the investment he was willing to make in the squad. Having someone like Robin Lee would be 3 steps beyond that. You know, it's having an owner who has about 500 million compared to someone who has 9 billion in their back pocket.
It's chump change, isn't it?
You know, if he's someone who's genuinely willing to invest in the team, we're going to be looking at signing players who are 5-6 million plus, rather than scraping the bargain.
300,000. If this club does go up, especially with the money in the Premier League at the moment, I mean, it's difficult to say because we don't want to get too worked up, but this could be a top 6, top 7 club, top 5 club. I mean, they could get European football, couldn't they, at some point? You'd hope so.
I mean, you look at what Leicester did this season, and Leicester as a club and as a city is essentially the same size as Wolverhampton. I think it will take a lot of building. I don't think, as I said, you look at someone like QPR, they were a team who tried to throw lots of money quite quickly, and it all crumbled because there was no unity in that squad and no chemistry. There are certain players in the Wolves team who will clearly be able to play at a decent level in the Premier League, someone like Iorfa or Hawes. But you wouldn't be able just to ship in 8 new players into that team easily, but there's also kind of some quite clear areas on the pitch where Wolves do need to improve. And actually, if we could sign I know he's left to Newcastle, but a Matt Ritchie, who was clearly a very strong player at Championship level. I think that's the sort of investment the club needs, and hopefully a new owner can see that, and potentially a new manager as well.
Richard, thanks very much for today. Really appreciate it. Exciting times for Wolves, and for the latest on this takeover, make sure you log on to expressandstar.com.